Hey there, Christina here. Today, we're going to be solving some systems of equations by the substitution method, right? Now, in this case, we have two equations, right? They're both linear equations because I only see that I just have x's and y's. There's no x squareds or y cubed. So we know that these are straight lines, they're linear lines, and they're part of a system because whenever you're talking about two or more equations combined, as a unit together, that's the system. Now, in this case, we just need to solve this, right? But what does it mean to solve the systems of equations? Well, in reality, right, if we did graph these, let's pretend that one linear line is going up and one linear line is going down. The solution is the point in which they both have in common. It's where their points or their lines come in contact with each other and they cross paths, which is right here, right? X marks the spot. That's what you're solving for. You're solving for an actual point. So if that's the case, you're just solving for, a point which has x comma y properties. So that's all that you're doing. Okay. So how do we do that? Well, we got to do it the substitution method, which basically means that you have to turn one equation or the other, right? In theory, it doesn't matter which one you choose, but easiest the better, right? You want to change one of your equations into either an x equals something or a y equals something. Now, keep in mind, it doesn't matter, but there are a couple of tips and tricks that I like to tell you. The first thing is that if you spot out that you just have, x plus 2y equals something and you have only one x, this is the chosen one. But in all of these examples, I got 2x, 9x, 4y, and 5y. There's no number that is just x or y. But the next tip that I can give you is try to pick the equation that has something in common, right? I see on this one, I got 9s and 5s and 1.3. Oh my. 9s and 5s, oh my. But in this one, you might say, well, I got 2s, 4s, and 3.8s. But it seems like they can be divided somehow by 2, right? Especially 4 and 2. And I can divide 3.8 divided by 2. So what I'm going to do is take equation 1. We'll say that this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to take equation 1 and we're going to solve for the lower of the two numbers. So this is the chosen one. If you wanted to, divide by 4, you obviously can, but I'm going for the x equals. So we're going to take the 2x plus 4y, and I forgot to say that this is equation 1. We're going to take the 2x plus the 4y equals a negative 3.8, and I'm going to solve for x equals. So if I want x by itself, I got to move the y's on over. So I'll just subtract 4y on both sides. So that gets rid of this guy. And now if I just put a nice little line there, we got 2x equals negative 3.8 minus 4y. And now, if I want x by itself, I have to divide each side by 2. Okay, this cancels out. And now we have x equals. Now, just know that when you're dividing two parts by the same denominator, you can split them up. So this is kind of the same thing as saying negative 3.8 divided by 2 minus 4y divided by 2. And just work it separately. So let's see. We got a 1, so this is negative 1.9. And then minus 4 divided by 2 is 2, so this would just be 2y. Okay, so we have x equals some number. Now here's the thing with the substitution method, is that if you picked equation 1, in which we picked equation 1, to actually do the x equals or the y equals, the next step has to be the other equation. You can't take this and substitute it in for the same equation. You're just going to get zeros. So I have to take equation 1 and plug it in or substitute into equation 2. So I'm going to say equation 2 was 9x minus 5y equals 1.3. And now, since we solved for x equals, I go and solve for where that x equals, right? Here's the x. So essentially what you're doing is moving on out the x. In comes this guy. And just know that the whole x value is going to be this whole thing. So we're just plopping in the negative 1.9 minus 2y. So let's go for it. So we have 9 times the whole thing, negative 1.9 minus 2y. And then, let's just keep it going, minus 5y equals 1.3. Okay? So, yeah, I think we're good to go, right? Now we just have to do PEMDAS, right? We got to distribute. Whee! So what is this? 9 times, I'm just going to do it quickly on the calci. 9 times 1.9, 17.1. So we got negative 17.1 minus 9 times 2 is 18y minus 5y equals 1.3. Let's group together like terms. So I have an 18 and a 5. So negative 17.1, what is that? 2, so 23 minus 23y equals, right? 18, 19, 20, 22, 23. Yeah, 1.3. Let's add this on over. 17.1 plus 17.1. This gets canceled out. Let's add that beautiful line. So now we got negative 23y equals, what do we got going on here? This is a 4, so 18.4. Let's divide that by the 23, or in this case, the negative 23, right? Negative 23 on both sides. That kind of cancels this out. And we are left with y equals, let's see, 18, ooh, what just happened there? 18.4 divided by 23, or maybe we'll say negative 23. So negative 0.8. Okay, so we have one piece of the puzzle. Now we know that this y value is going to be negative 0.8. So now the last step of the game is to just find out that x value. Now in this case, since we know what the y value is, you could use any one of these. It doesn't matter. Whichever one looks easier to you. I don't know, 2s and 4s are better than 9s and 5s? That's fine with me. Let's use equation 1. So we'll use equation 1. And then, maybe if I can, let me see, can I just bring this over a little bit just so that we have a little bit more room at the end? Okay, so equation 1, we have 2x plus, now we know that we have 4 times that y value, which is negative 0.8. And then this has to equal negative 3.8. So then we have 2x. Now 4 times 8 is 32, so this would be minus 3.2. Right, 4 and 8 is 3.2. Yep, 32, move the decimal over, okay. And then this is going to equal negative 3.8. Let's get that x by itself, so we're going to add 3.2 on both sides. So let's see here. We get 2x equals negative 3.8 plus 3.2, so there's a leftover of negative 0.6. And then we're just going to divide by 2 on both sides. And we're going to get that x value. X equals, this cancels, negative 0.3. And that is the x coordinate. So we have our point, and we solved it. So this is going to be negative 0.3, and now we have that point. So let's just draw it out. This comma this. Blues and reds, we got negative 0.3 comma negative 0.8. And that is your final answer. That's the solving. Okay, that's the point where they cross paths. Thank you so much for viewing the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Just gets the word out there this YouTube channel exists. Thanks so much for your, your viewership and your support throughout this whole process. You guys rock. And I'll see you in later lessons. I won't see you, but I'll talk to you, right? And one more thing is that if you want to become a member to the channel, no pressure, obviously, but you could check the channel out. We got 4 different tiers of memberships. Maybe one might work for you. And thank you so much for considering, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye-bye.